without people's permissions.
Yeah, thank you. No lawsuits here.
Yeah, no. Cool. Yeah, we can either go through some slides or we can just answer the questions directly.
Yeah. So generally, we have a few slides prepared for these AMAs. The AMAs are pretty casual in nature. You know, we usually have a few talking points that we might have, maybe cover off some agenda items, and then we just open it up for chatter. Last time we did a lot of times talking about DeFi and how the market was shit, and how everything was a scam. But yeah, it's, you know, again, we're really open to just taking this AMA anywhere people want. But going back to Shan's question, because I think maybe it's a good opening question, and then you can drill down on that or go to the slides up to how people want to take things. But yeah, we started this group back in January. So why don't I share some slides, because we do talk about it a bit. Okay. So let me share this guy here. Let me grab the sharing. Okay, so
too many screens to choose from.
Yeah, exactly. I know, it's like out of that, it's 1 out of the 4. I got to put it somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I hope everyone can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll full screen that now. Okay. So yeah. So that's basically our mission. So like as I kind of mentioned earlier, you know, we're trying to build a thriving community of Web3 users, builders, and investors through education and networking. And I think we know what we're trying to differentiate ourselves is. I think, you know, Kyle kind of said it already. I think what we're really good at so far is, you know, we're just having these organic conversations that come up by having kind of these, I wouldn't say they're always informal, but having gatherings that allow people to be able to, you know, actually talk, versus having simply throwing parties where people, you know, can't hear anything because the music's too loud, right? So yeah, we're not really, you know, we certainly, you know, have a few drinks and we mix it up, but it's not you're not going to a nightclub when you go to the Montreal DAO. That's the kind of event. And of course, you know, this is only our second event we did, you know, last week. And I think obviously as we grow this thing out, and now we have more members, there's obviously the opportunity to gain sponsorships and those kinds of things so that we can throw bigger events. But I think what makes us unique, and I think that's the, you know, the building block, is that, you know, we're able to connect many diverse people without shilling things, right? Without being too promotional. Because I think what at the end of the day, and you know, in the beginning when I first launched this DAO, maybe I had a different vision, but what I'm seeing now, based on people showing up, is that I think we don't have to be everything to everybody. Like we don't have to be, you know, the place where people go to find, you know, to be the, you know, a Web3 LinkedIn. We don't have to be, you know, the party DAO. We don't have to be, you know, the educational place like a Bankless. You don't have to, you know, we don't have to be in those things. Maybe it's simple enough to just have a community DAO. All right. So I know it's a kind of crazy idea, but this could just be a community DAO where we just come together as a community, and we don't have to necessarily have, you know, sell products or sell services or, you know, any of that kind of stuff. Simply, you know, a DAO, people get together, and maybe eventually, you know, we do get more and more members involved, where people can have different layers of ownership, so that, you know, if people leave, some other person can step in and, you know, take over. And, you know, maybe that's done through an NFT or some sort, or, you know, some sort of access. But again, we don't think we need to there's no point of launching tokens and having people, you know, do all that kind of stuff. I think that's completely unnecessary for, I think, how this DAO is playing out. I think this is the true definition of a community DAO, where again, just like-minded people coming together, and yeah, and it's I think so far it's casual nature and just, you know, networking. So I don't know if anyone has any thoughts around that, but I think that's kind of where I see us at right now.
So I have a question. Why DAO? I mean, you could just make any forum or in Discord group. Why? Because DAOs have a mission, like very strong mission. You have a governance to take you to that mission.
And see, I want to push back on that a bit, because you know, I participate in a few DAOs, and I don't think they're all successful because they have a mission. You know, so
yeah, and I think the term DAO is very loosely thrown around.
Yeah,
right? It's just as soon as someone says, "Hey, we're a group of people that are in Web3, let's make a DAO." Okay, great. That's like, let's make a corporation, or let's make a Telegram group, or let's make a, you know, boy band, whatever. You can call it whatever you want, right? It's the decentralized nature of having an organization is like, we want to get more and more people involved to organize stuff, right? So if someone says, hey, I want to organize the next event, do it, right? Like we don't have any particular person that is responsible for everything. Right now, you know, when Houston started this, I really liked the idea of, yeah, like, you know, I want to jump in and help and do things, you know, and then help organize events. And that's what we're doing, right? And as, you know, speaking of Tony is another person, right? He comes in, he organizes stuff with his team, and he does his own events, right? And then we kind of share and collaborate and stuff there. But I don't think it's like we have to have a DAO with a token and do governance voting, and because it's like, what's the point, right? Like if we mint, you know, non-transferable tokens, and then to do a co-op vote on where our next terrorist event's going to be, like it's overkill. Like we can just ask people in Discord. Like we don't need to, you know, create our own problem and solve our own problem, right? Like there's easier ways to do that. If we do decide, hey, like let's, you know, get a sponsorship and we start, you know, having a treasury, we start managing stuff and having events and stuff. Okay, great. Then, you know, maybe we'll walk into that path, but let's not create problems until we get there, because then it becomes more of a chore and maintenance thing. And we don't need to do that right now. So.
I can say something. I mean, as a total neophyte and total beginner in all of this, I have learned an incredible amount from you guys. I mean, just it's as simple as Classica's telling me that, you know, go to Coin Bureau and listen to that on YouTube, and you're going to learn a whole lot more. And Houston shares his trading views, and I've become acquainted with Discord, and Tony has just dumped all kinds of information on us about, you know, the insides of how Radix works. And if I look at my notes, say from 6 months ago, where I knew the word Bitcoin, and that was about it, maybe Ethereum, and now I can tell other people, I say, you know, this is I can talk about blockchains, and I can talk about Polygon, and I attend different events, but I really like the informal nature of this group, where I'm not shy to ask a question and I can learn, and you guys are so helpful and open to sharing what you know. It's absolutely fantastic. I appreciate it so much.
All right, Dina, how much do I owe you for that?
Yeah, exactly.
Two beers for me.
That's very kind of you. Thank you. That was very kind.
Yeah, and I want to add to that. Like, I've had some friends, you know, that work in the Web3 world come to like these events, and like, you know, they always find it a little bit different than other DAOs, because people kind of know each other by name. You know, we say, you know, GM in the chat, we share, you know, like Twitter posts that we find funny or that we think are relevant, and we kind of just like guide each other in the right direction. I find that, I don't know about you guys, but in my world, there's like a propagation of news that always happens, right? So like when I first hear from it, where did it come from, right? Did it come from like my company? Did it come from me scanning Twitter? Did it come from, you know, the Montreal DAO? Like, where did it come from, right? And I'm starting to see the more people are getting involved and sharing stuff, the more that you get access to things before they happen, right? Before Celsius was mainstream about, you know, everything that was happening, we kind of talked about it quickly, you know, a day or two before, right? So if you weren't, you know, a part of that, or maybe you were part of something else, you would have been talking about events, you would have been talking about different things. Versus us, it's more like, hey, this might affect me. Maybe it'll affect someone else. Let me share it just in case, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like on top of things, you know what's happening. It is very much a social group. I think that's the biggest emphasis here. Yeah.
So the question is, why don't you just call it Montreal Web3 social group than a DAO? Like do you think it is a DAO where you have a clear-cut governance process, voting? If voting is there, how would you vote? I understand it's not token voting, is not the only form of voting. There's other form of voting. Can we make a proposal? Can then a member ask, okay, I have a vision for Montreal DAO. This is a vision. Who's going to vote? So is there any process for that?
Yeah. Oh, these are all good questions. And you know, to be very frank, when I first started this, my vision was to make it a DAO. Like that was the vision, was to make it completely, you know, decentralized. And we had all these discussions about how we would do voting and these kinds of things. But as things matured over the past few months, I'm seeing that, we don't need to have all the governance in place for a DAO. The traditional, like when people think of DAO, they think of these, like the comparison, like obvious comparison would be like, a DeFi DAO or some other project that has, maybe some revenue. Now, I think when if you boil it back down again, I think we're going to see that a DAO is a spectrum of things, and some DAOs are going to require lots of governance and many processes, and some DAOs are going to require very little governance. And I think we're going to be more on that left side of that spectrum. But some of the goals and the next question would be, well, why even call yourself a DAO? What's even the point of DAOifying this thing? If that's a word, because ultimately, one of my key goals, values that I believed in when I was when I started building this community, is that as I built other communities in the past, I've always realized that there's a big difference between. This is why I think Web3. I don't like that word, but when you think of this new environment we're in, is that there's a difference in this world and the previous world. Is that I did not want to make this community a meetup.com community. That's goal number one. I did not want to make it a meetup.com community and have its rails sit on meetup.com, a Web 2.0 company, right? So I wanted to make it something outside of Web 2.0. So what does that mean? Somehow this thing has to live outside of that. Yes, it could just be its own website. Number two, I don't want to have any owners that's going to rely on that owner, right? So I've been, the driving founder of this, but I've tried to push this quickly so to many people as possible, because I never want to, if I ever, get hit by a bus, I don't want this thing to die. Ultimately, I need to, we need to put something in place that people can simply step up, and then take over this thing. All right. So, and number three is around the fact that I think the Montreal DAO space is something that is, maybe on that spectrum of DAOs, maybe doesn't fit into the classic issue token, issue NFT, and then give people voting rights. But at the same time, I think having that model gives people something that maybe some structure that can ultimately that people can build into, versus just having a kind of a free for all now where it looks like myself and Kyle are kind of just running the whole show. So that's kind of I think the kind of a vision for it, I guess, kind of a vision statement, versus it being the real thing that we're doing right now. Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah, I ran bunch of community. I understand what you said. I resonate with you. Many things, for example, they depend on you for everything.
Yeah.
So if anything happens to you, then the whole group dies down.
Yeah.
You're right. My question was along the lines of, for example, if I'm new here and I want to make a proposal, I just want to know if you have some basic charter or some kind of constitutions because DAO is basically coordinating a decision process, right? So how do you take decisions as a community? That's what I want to know. It shouldn't be like so elaborate as any DeFi DAO.
Yeah.
It should be something written. There should be a process written, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if you have that.
Yeah, we have we have some things in Notion. That we have a pretty built out Notion site where people when we were fleshing out these ideas, but now we've come to see that that's even a little too formal. We can just come to Discord and just drop ideas in our DAO chat channel, and then people can just chime in on that. So yeah, at this point I don't think we even because there isn't a lot of volume.
Yeah, is there any way I can get the link of the Discord?
Yeah, it's right in front of you, sir. It's right there. If you're looking at the Google sheet, there, Google slide, it's right there.
I'll share.
Yeah, drop in the chat. Yeah,
in the chat is much better.
Yeah. Yeah, but I totally understand what your point there is like as a owner or co-founder of someone who runs the a community. But there's always that fine line, right, where you kind of have to balance trying to create attention versus trying to invest in the community, because in the end, like you don't want to just create attention for yourself, because then when you disappear, then the rest of the community disappears, right? So ultimately, what I believe in is that you really want to. That's why I think the DAO structure, I think it could be right over the long run, is that you want to engage with people and kind of invest in people versus just investing in attention, because attention will disappear if you're just trying to build an audience versus build a community. So yeah, I guess that's my last idea on why DAO is important.
Yeah, I wouldn't say DAO. I would say digital organization than DAO.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite word because I ran like a rock group and I ran a karaoke group, uh, and a lot of things depended on me, and I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
like that. So I totally understand what you mean. But at this moment of time, I'm trying to transform that in a DAO. So there's a clear cut process of making decisions and clear cut rules of roles and responsibilities.
Sure.
And a lot of
Yeah.
groups die down because there's so much ambiguity in what each member has to do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think you're right in that point. Yeah.
Well, come to our Discord. I'll give you access to our Notion. Feel free to, to rampage through our Notion site and, offer suggestions and proposals on how you want to, if you want to contribute. We'd love it. We're looking for folks who are passionate and want to, to contribute. So if you think you have things that, that you want to, to spearhead or things you want to share with the community, then yeah, we're open for it.
Yeah, join the Discord. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, see that. Yeah, it's most of the time, when someone wants to organize an event or they want to sponsor something, we just talk about it in the Discord and then we organize it and then, that's it. We can, set up, okay, if you want to contribute as this type of person, follow this step 1, 2, 3, and then do this and follow this step 1, 2, 3. But it's like, we realized when we go the informal route, it's a lot more fun and a lot more, educational for everyone. And it feels more like we're a community. When you make it a process, it feels like very like a job almost, and
yeah, like a marketing event, right?
But
Pull off a marketing event.
The thing is that as the community grows, like if you have like
Yeah.
100 people, right? Right now we're small, I understand, but if tomorrow you grow big, I would say a new person would love to know at least the basics, how you operate, right? So it's better to have some small onboarding process.
Oh, totally.
First. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So
I totally agree with you. And to Houston's point, we have the Notion. We just need to have someone in the community sit down and write that out and then share it, and then we'll all adopt it. Right?
Who wants to do that?
yeah.
Actually, one sec.
All right. No, but I think it's a great conversation because we haven't talked about this part of the DAO for a while. The past few months, we've been talking more about the markets as they've collapsed and gone belly up.
The thing is that me and my other people are talking about what should Toronto DAO be, and they're trying to raise money through NFTs. I said before you raise money through NFTs, I just want to know what exactly you want to do with those money, right? Like
that's exactly it.
It's not. I'll be responsible for the money, right? Like we just don't want to earn money and chill, right?
Yeah.
So we are brainstorming different ways of how can we make a Toronto DAO contribute to the Web3 or not only Web3 scene, any tech scene, right? In the Toronto. So I just came here and Montreal. So I love Montreal. I prefer Montreal to Toronto. So I was just saying, what exactly you're doing in Montreal, so we can learn from you guys, and implement that in Toronto. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like we need to tune into your next one as well and put some ask you some tough questions as well because this is great.
Yeah.
All right. So we you want to keep going down this path, guys, or you want to just go over a couple slides and then launch back into the discussion?
Yeah, I'm curious to finally see a little bit of green.
That is gone now.
So guys, I have to go right now because I have another meeting, but it was lovely talking to you. I would love to join some other sessions. Thanks, Houston.
Cool,
and
Chance.
Yeah,
look forward to talking to you in Discord further.
Okay. All right. See you. Bye.
Take care. So Tony is here. I saw him come in. All right.
Yeah, no, sorry guys, I had to leave because I'm in my car and I had to stop and get gas, and then I started the car back up and it wouldn't connect the audio back, so I had to leave the call and come back again. So yeah, but I'm hanging out in the car here.
Thanks for hanging out, man. Thanks for hanging out. All right. Yeah. Okay, so any comments, or should we just launch to a couple slides? I did not make too many today. I did not go do my usual 20 slides. I just did like 2.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think you did more than that, but
maybe 4.
Yeah,
double that. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. So no comments. Should we just go real fast and then we'll open it up again?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Does everyone know myself and Classicus? Mitch. I don't know if I've met you before. Does everyone know Mitch?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a lurker.
No problem, Mitch. That's how we all start.
How we
Lurk
all
first. Yeah. Before talking to the
Welcome.
weirdos, guys, gotta look first. Welcome, Mitch.
Thank you.
Are you in Montreal?
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool. All right,
I'm just really interested in DAOs in general.
nice. Are you in the Web3 space? Do you work in the Web3 crypto world, or are you outside the space?
Well, I'm a web designer, Web 2 stuff, and I'm looking to get more into Web 3. I mean, I've been just, going down the rabbit hole for a while.
Nice.
And I don't know, I entered a contest yesterday in Web 3 space that I'm pretty confident I'm going to win. So
When you say designer, you mean like
Awesome.
a graphic designer or?
yeah, graphic design. I know like just HTML and CSS and a little bit of like JavaScript and PHP, but not a lot.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, there's a lot of needed designers. I don't know if you've seen all the terrible dApps that have been popping out left, right, and center.
Yeah,
Designers in this space.
yeah. Well, that's how I've been looking to see if I can get involved just in any DAOs. Like I applied to Raid Guild. I'm not sure if I'll get in, but I was just looking to see like any DAOs where I could contribute, and start like leave my traditional job behind.
That's how it starts. It's a whole
Yeah.
new world out there. Once you make the leap, you'll the only thing you'll regret is not doing the leap sooner.
That's true.
I
that
know a
is
few
true.
designers that moved over from Web 2 to Web 3. And yeah, they love it. Especially if you work for like a protocol that's international or something, you have all the freedom in the world, you get to travel, it's all remote. I don't know what your current situation is. It could be very similar too.
No, not at all. My situation now kind of sucks.
Well, yeah, there's great space. We're, always open to ask, answer any questions you have. There are no stupid questions.
Cool.
So
Yeah, well, I just joined the Discord, so
yeah, there you go. So welcome. Yeah, you can keep lurking for a few days, or you can blast away with questions, go nuts. It's entirely whatever you feel comfortable with. As for me, so Houston, if you want to click the next slide. So Mitch, I'll introduce myself quickly. There you go. So I'm an engineer in the crypto space. I have a background in a whole bunch of technical jargon. So I'm a little bit of a nerd, a lot of a nerd. And I do have other hobbies and stuff. So people call me Classicus. That's my my anon name, my name on Discord, my name on Twitter, my name on all the socials. My real name is Kyle, so you can call me whatever you feel like calling me. Yeah, so if you have any questions or anything that you want to talk about, feel free. I work in DeFi specifically, but once you get into the space and you start playing around, everything kind of ties together and you understand how stuff works.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's cool. And if you're looking for a job, we're also everyone's looking for designers now. So if you want to DM me your portfolio or something in Discord, feel free. Maybe I can hook you up with something.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I'm actually kind of working on my portfolio right now. The contest thing I'm talking about is a. Do you guys know Colony?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing a thing right now where they're posting like a thing each day for basically designing a DAO in different spaces, and I kind of have one that I'm basically designing a DAO that's not, I don't intend for it to necessarily become a real project. It's kind of just an idea that I want to build a website for to more or less show my website skills. So
Nice.
Do you lean more on like the UX UI designing stuff kind of side, or do you lean more towards you want to learn how to do websites and like React code and like CSS and all that kind of stuff? Do you have a
yeah,
preference?
well, I started learning React a while ago, and I don't know what happened. I would be that is something that though eventually I would like to do. Right now I'm more design, like more graphic design stuff. And I'm just really interested in DAOs in general, so I wanted to have something in my portfolio that kind of shows that interest, and maybe it's also like something that's a little more innovative or eye-catching than just the websites that I've been building for like plumbers.
Hey, it all started there. Hey, everyone needs websites and good design and
Yeah,
stuff.
100%.
Yeah.
But plumbers, you got to go where the money's at. You know, they make good coin too.
Yeah,
So.
they did make a coin.
Not digital coin, but they make good coin.
That's right. They're not digital coin. Nice. Hey, so while we have Mitch on the magnifying glass, I'm gonna have to ask him a question. So, so Mitch, how did you find out about our group?
Oh,
So
through Meetup.
Through
I
Meetup?
was
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember what I searched. I just searched DAOs, I think, just to see what there was. Just because
On Meetup.com or on Google?
Oh no, I think on Meetup.
Okay.
I would just, there's not many people I know who I can talk to about DAOs. So
Cool.
yeah.
And then you just joined our Discord now, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay. Did you just join our community, like our Meetup group, just recently, or you've been lurking for a while?
Oh,
I got the magnifying glass like full on now. I'm just like,
I literally just saw Meetup, like your thing on Meetup, I think a couple weeks ago, and I was like, sure, whatever. I just clicked it, and then I honestly forgot until like an hour ago when I was looking at my calendar.
Okay. There we go. I think that's how it works. That's the organic nature of things, That's the way it works.
How it works. And some weeks some weeks there's a lot more people in this call. It depends on the week. It depends, now it's summer. People are probably isn't it the construction holidays right now too? Something like that.
It is, yeah, it is.
So that's why Montreal downtown is so quiet.
It's so quiet right now. It's beautiful, man. I love it. This is my favorite time of the year.
I was literally weeding in the garden and had to head out to get some stuff and realize what time it was and what day it was. Like, oh crap, maybe I'd jump on the call. But Mitch, from time to time, Montreal DAO does like in person, like once a month, I guess, right, guys?
Yep.
And it was on Friday. We all, got together and shared stories and stuff. So.
Let's see if I can find Tony in this picture. Where's Tony? Is he in this picture?
And I'm not in the pictures. Actually, I wasn't actually to come out, and then I saw Deepak with the Radic shirt, and so I booted.
You saw the picture. You're like, okay, now I got to come out.
Yeah, I got a show, But no, it was great. It was great. I arrived after the picture.
It was a great turnout. A lot of, I met a lot of new people. Met some familiar faces also, and I didn't have time to talk to everyone. Like Adina, you were there, and I wanted to talk to you, but like all of a sudden you weren't there anymore, and it was like Houston. I said hi, and that was about it.
I know.
Like 5 minutes. Many people there to like chat with, and it's a great time. The night flew out, so and met some people from Polygon, met some some bankers, met all types of people.
A nuclear physicist was there.
Oh, nice.
It was an amazing group. And Kyle, you started talking about a fun event for our next in person. I thought, oh, that's an awesome idea. Like, maybe keep the sharp objects away from you, but the backstory on that. Anyway, that's a great idea. Maybe we can talk about it now or save it for next time. But any ideas on that?
Yeah,
Tony, I think your first challenge is to get everybody a Radix t-shirt.
Yeah, I need some free swag, Tony.
If you want merch, I will make that happen. No worries.
Oh, generous. That's awesome. Well, just for people on this call, not everyone else, because we're dedicated.
First, our orders go in first.
Yeah.
Well, literally, it's for the people who were at the original meetup and then came to our thing the other night, and then I had a couple of leftovers, so but yeah, we'll get some for everyone on the call here today.
Nice. That was a fun event, and Adina, you were there, but I don't see you in the picture either.
I'm right beside Jimmy on the right side of the larger picture, and then after
that, there you are. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at the smaller picture. Yeah. So you were there. So yes, you deserve that. You deserve that NFT. So you have that. I'm gonna add you to the NFT because you were there.
Yeah. I know how to do the oat stuff now. I mean, I feel so sophisticated.
Claiming NFTs, everything now. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then on the smaller picture, I'm right in front of Marcus, who just Marcus just filled me with so much information I couldn't keep up. Because he just keeps talking, and he just keeps, he's really, really good at explaining complex things in simple terms.
Yeah.
and making analogies. He's wonderful. So I'm right behind there. Anyway, I'm there.
He's hiding you. I don't even see you in that picture. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in front of him, but there's another guy. I can't remember his name. Huang, I think.
Ryoma. Oh, there you are. Now I see you. Yeah, you're behind. You're right. He's cutting you off. Ryoma is his name.
Yeah. Oh, that's his name. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I had a great evening. I got a lot of information. That's and
Nice.
Tony, you showed up around what, 9, I think?
Yeah, it was just I think Houston. You said, yeah, we're still here at like 8:50 something, and I showed up just after 9.
That's right.
The event was from 7 to 9, I think, and I left at like 10:30 or something, and there was still tons of people there.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, like, and if I didn't have anything the next morning, I would have definitely stayed longer. You know, Tony and I even started talking about like horseback riding and all these different things. I was like, man, there's just so much content out of these meetups. It just never ends. Like,
That's right. Yeah, you know, and it's fun because you get to find out a little bit more about backgrounds. You know, just for Mitch's sake, you know, there I am sitting in the car.
hey.
But yeah, construction holiday, so I'm, you know, looking clean shade and all that stuff. Yeah, no, but
maybe
definitely a great event.
Maybe I'll be at the next one. I have a friend who could probably come with me. He recently graduated from a course with the blockchain development on Cardano.
Nice, yeah.
There you go.
And I'm sure he would be interested in
Yeah.
this kind of thing as well.
Yeah.
The more the merrier.
It's really cool. People from all sorts, right? People that are already working deep in the space. We have people that are, you know, just coming in for the first time. We have people that are just curious, right? And they want to learn a little bit more, and they just, you know, come to chat and listen. And, you know, it's really cool to yeah, like, I don't know. I'm wondering if we should do events more often, but at the same time, that last event that we tried to do, as you'll see, Mitch, in the Discord, was a pain in the ass to organize. Everything being canceled and places.
Well, that's what made it more special. That's what made it more special, because it was kind of like we had this plan in mind, and then didn't turn out right. But then something else came out of it, and then it worked out very well. So yeah,
Right. The venue canceled on you. Yeah. That was good. It was good. Yeah. Everyone got together, and it was well orchestrated in the end.
Yeah.
So
my friend lives literally like 3 minutes away from this place where these pictures are.
so that
Next time.
next time.
Well, summer we got to take advantage of it. You know, summer we should definitely do one more before it starts to get nasty out there. At least 1 or 2 more.
Yeah, for sure. Depending on when we do the next one, I might not be here. It depends when we do it. But I do like the idea of doing an activity next. So, you know, we talked about ideas last time. You know, that could be go-karting. That could be, but you know, go-karting is kind of loud. And we do enjoy the conversations more than everything. You know, axe throwing is a great idea, but sharp objects with alcohol, maybe, you know, we'll see. Any other ideas that you guys can think of? Like,
We could go to the shooting gallery. I have a gun license.
Wow. We can borrow your license. We can just shoot.
Yeah, I did all the courses and everything. It took me a year, but I did all the courses and I got a gun.
Wow.
so
I don't have a gun. I mean, I got a BB gun that I shoot with squirrels in the backyard, but neighbors aren't around. But the shooting gallery is just a phenomenal experience. It's a little expensive though. I mean, you can throw $300 just like that in 15 minutes. Just so, I don't know. It's
So even if I don't have a gun license, I can go with you, and then you'll like sponsor / supervise.
Yeah. There's one. There's the one not far away, actually from where we were, St. Ambroise City. And these are nondescript doors. I mean, you'll never know that this is a shooting place. But people go and they register for about an hour, and you have somebody there who takes you through each step of the way. I mean, total neophytes. You walk in there and you come out of there an hour later and you're shaking because
I like this. This is good.
Realize how much energy it takes to keep that thing like that and to shoot off a round. And your arm is sore for the next 2 days. It's
what do they give you? What kind of weapon? What kind of firearms do they have there?
Well, they give you something that's really, really simple, and they show you how to use it. I don't even know what they gave me the last time, but it's really simple to use. Yeah, but they're right there over your shoulder to make sure that you don't make one false
You're not
move.
like
And
just
it was-
shooting around doing the
it was
doing the rapper kind of like. You're like,
okay, it's an off the mark idea. I don't think it's good.
I
for
like
the
it. I like
because
it.
we
love
have-
that.
Reminds me of Vegas.
well,
I
we-
love that
we
idea.
didn't have any
I love it.
conversation.
No, but we go there first, and then afterwards, you gotta have a few drinks just to calm your nerves afterwards, right?
Yeah, exactly. Then after that, we
Yeah,
were talking
You're
about how,
drinking afterwards, yeah.
Yeah. You drink first,
no.
and then you go and drink after as well. Make it a whole day event.
Just to throw out another idea, a friend of mine, he owns the Sky Venture in Laval.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know
what
if
is
you know
that?
that. It's the wind tunnel. It's like
Oh yeah.
so it's like parachuting whatever in a wind tunnel. That's a pretty cool thing. Like
Man, we got a lot of good
again,
options here.
it's not cheap, but they do treat groups well, and you get the lesson on how to hold the position while you're falling, kind of thing, and you do a couple of runs in the tunnel, and so it's like a starter package kind of thing for a group. That's another thought, and they have a meeting room as well, so we could combine it with getting together after and
These are all fun
chatting and all.
ideas. These are all fun ideas. Damn. Yeah. These are all good ones.
I mean,
Yeah.
if we're 20 and 30, we could have like a full on touch football tournament at that point too.
There you go. That's what is it? Cooler weather before the snow. Yeah.
Or like in the winter, we'll all go like see like a hockey game or something if people are sports fans, or we can have different things like going, or different maybe that's something we do, right? We start having multiple events, and people that are interested in the ones, they go to the ones that they are, like Tony. I'm sure that if Tony sets up a date and organizes for the wind tunnel, if Adina does the same thing for the shooting range, if whoever's interested can then just, hey, yeah, I'm super interested, and the next thing you know, you'll have a group of at least 5, maybe 30, depends, and anywhere between that range, right?
And then
I like that. And then we can have, want to go to both, do both, right?
Exactly. Well, you make it a 2-part event, right? You like, some folks are interested in shooting guns, some people are interested in doing the flying thing, and then some folks may just want to do just the after party, right?
Yeah.
Because maybe some people are price sensitive. They don't want to spend $300 on shooting, or $100 for flying, and they're like, oh, you know what? I'll join those guys afterwards. And then
these are great ideas. I'm gonna have to let you go. I gotta run in to buy something before they close here. But
yeah, good, Tony. Great ideas though.
Yeah. They got good hours. They're closing at 5 here. But yeah, throw various ideas up there on the Discord, and we can certainly work. Find dates, stuff like that. Yeah, very good to see you guys, and it was a great event Friday. Thanks so much. Take care, guys.
See you, Tony.
Bye.
Take care. Have fun ones. Yeah, so we should do that. Just collect a bunch of events and then see. I think it's kind of the event, and then maybe there's an after party thing, right? Like a terrace thing after. While it's still nice in the summertime, we could do a 2-parter. Some folks will do the more I guess the more adventurous thing, and then some folks may just want to do the drinking thing. So yeah. Fantastic idea. So what's so is it going to cost $300 to shoot guns? Because I love shooting guns. But does it cost?
I've never shot an actual firearm. Only like.
Oh no, yeah. I used to go to Vegas all the time, and they give you all crazy guns. The AK, they give you the Glock 45, the Magnum, the the 38s, the big old Clint Eastwood 44 caliber. It goes like this, like hand cannon. Arm hurts for a week afterwards. Shotguns, yeah, shot them all. But yeah, you leave there, you're like, I feel weird now. That was intense. Yeah, that was really intense. How much does it cost? Does it really cost $300? Because that's
okay. Well, the last time I went, it was for 2 people. It was $300.
Okay.
And I think that's a few years back with COVID got in the way, but I think the 9mm was as heavy as we got. Like they're not going to fool around. There's liability issues.
Yeah. In Canada, they don't have those same kind of crazy weapons as in the States. Those guys are nuts. Those guys are nuts in the States.
Do you also pay for ammo, or like how does it work?
You have to pay for the ammo, and you hire the guy for an hour. Maybe he's going to charge $75-$80, but for 2 people, it's totally worth it. And then you have to rent the gun and the ammunition. It's the ammunition that's the most expensive.
Yeah. Wow, that sounds like fun. We should definitely pencil that in. We got to put that on the calendar
Yeah.
because I think that's like an all season event, right? You can do it in winter.
Yeah.
You can do it
Yeah.
at time, right? So that's a good one. Yeah, we can
Yeah.
definitely do that.
And
Yeah.
we can grab like the markers and stuff, take a picture of it, make it as an NFT, and then
Yeah, no, they give it to you, and you can take it home with the poster. It's
Awesome.
Just like,
That's awesome.
we can make that the special ode, right? Everyone gets an ode, and it's their own like thing that they shot, and then they have a memory on chain of how they shot or something.
Nice. Yeah.
It's limitless.
We print out the Montreal DAO or something. We put like Suzu up there. This picture and shoot him.
Yeah,
Alex Mashinsky put his picture up there.
we put the Web3 Montreal logo. We just like,
Put that to an NFT. Commemorate that.
you're either going to get a whole lot of new members, or you're going to get everybody's going to leave.
Yeah, exactly. That's too funny. Really fun conversation. So I know Kyle has to leave soon. Like I know he has a call at 5:30. So why don't we just keep chatting here while we chat about those things? I'll just bring up a couple more things here. Just one thing I share, just that one slide, and then we can just open it up some more. But everything's red. Pretty much everything's still red. Even though we've had a good little bounce over the past 2 weeks since our last conversation. Pretty much everything is still red. ETH is still down 56%.
But ETH Classic is up year to date.
Yeah, that's been the big pump. Earlier today when I took that photo, it was actually at one point it was up. I think it was close to 27% up for the year, but it's now gone down 4% up for the year. So it has to do with this with the merge. So as the merge gets closer, the game is what are the ETH miners going to do? The guys are currently mining ETH. Where's that money? Where are those ASICs going to go? So a lot of people are now speculating that these ETH miners could move over to ETH Classic again and go back to mining ETH Classic. But there's also these other proof of work chains that could be interesting to them. So there's a few names that have popped up that are very micro names, like small guys like Cadeno and all these other weird coins that I've never heard of before that have popped up as well. But ETH Classic being the biggest recipient of that pump. So yeah, they pumped pretty well the last, as ETH pumped. ETH had a bigger pump the last couple weeks than Bitcoin even. So Bitcoin's down what now? -50. ETH had been down, even further down than that, but it's popped up now. So, but yeah, pretty much everything is pretty much red still, except for ETH Classic. That's maybe a short-term thing. It'd be a very weird world if ETH Classic all of a sudden comes back again and people start building on that.
I don't think that'll ever happen, but
yeah,
I've seen weirder things. No one ever thought insert event here would ever happen. So
yeah, crazy things can happen. Because if you look like now, like Celsius now is like, but that token's not going away.
Celsius is being short squeezed. I think that's the only reason why it's going up, which is so counterintuitive because we know that. So they also have their lawsuit is going, and if you guys have an account with them, you can follow the lawsuit. And then
they send you emails.
They'll send you emails every time there's new documents and everything. But that's legal battles take years. So who knows how long that's going to take.
The market cap of Celsius now, just the token is like 400 million. So
but it's not liquid.
Obviously it's not liquid enough people would actually exit it, but it just shows you that we all know that it's a narrative game, right? It's like in this case it's narrative and supply and liquidity driven versus anything else. Just like Ethereum Classic is probably narrative driven and just pure short squeeze / liquidity driven. Because I don't know if people are really going to start building on ETH Classic in the long run. Yeah.
Has anyone heard about the Solana store being opened in New York? So they want to create a Solana brick and mortar store, or they created one already, or something like that. And I also think it's gonna be where they're gonna sell their mobile phone, right? Because they announced that they're gonna have a mobile phone, so it's like a Solana lounge or something, and they don't want to start it in New York. And I'm almost tempted to go to New York just to check that out, just to see what it's all about,
That could be our next event.
Go to New York City.
Go to New York City together, yeah.
We jump on a bus and go to New York City.
Yeah, we rent a bus, let's all just head there. And Get it sponsored by a few people, you know, and then you know.
Yeah, a sponsored bus event. That'd be awesome. Actually, that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah,
We should raise it. We should do that. Raise some money, drop an NFT. You know, pack a bunch of students into a bus, send them down there. Leave them there.
Figure out who makes it back home.
Yeah, exactly. It's one-way ticket. I just said you're going to get there and just come back. But what do you think about that Solana phone? Because that seems to be getting, you know, pretty favorable opinions, even though obviously it's very vapor right now. But people like the idea that they're being so, you know, ambitious that they're going to, you know, think about actually having their own phone hardware plus, you know, software. So
yeah, I still think there's a lot of I still think their infrastructure hasn't been fully tested, right, by big events. And I feel they've had a lot of, you know, downtimes. We've joked about it in the past where Solana's only open, you know, business hours and blah blah blah. So like, you know, all it takes is Solana to go down for a day or two fully. Then what happens, right? Then
you don't make phone calls. you just gotta
the phone doesn't work. Like what happens, right? Like it's, you know, you're stuck in New York. You know, your bus gave away. And it's only one-way bus, and you can't call home because, you know, the phone doesn't work. Like it's not
you got a brand new phone.
So it's like, yeah, I don't know. Honestly, with Terra collapsing, I consider no blockchain safe, right? Like, unless it's here for many, many years and it's gone through multiple markets. Like, you know, Solana's never really been through many, like crashes, right?
Yeah.
Solana's still here in 4 years. Great, different story. But every few months, it's good to check what the top 50 tokens were 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And see which ones are still relevant today. Because very often you realize, like, oh, there's not that many.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. That's a very good point. The weird thing about Solana is that they're the only one left that seems to think that they can do it without any kind of sharding or L2s or, you know, any kind of, you know, ability to scale. I don't know how out of all the new, you know, all the layer ones, L1s, they all realize that, you know, to get, you know, to really be able to scale, they're going to have some sort of L2 support. Like AVAX has subnets now, right? And, you know, obviously Atom or Cosmos has had that for a long time. We're going to be composable across, you know, different chains. So yeah, Solana seems to be the only one now that seems to be, oh no, it's a one chain thing, and, you know, we don't need to have any. That's a layer one thing. We don't need to have any layer twos to provide scalability. So,
and maybe they're onto something, right? Maybe they're okay, but, you know, like Binance has had a single chain for a long time. Well, they have multiple, right? But yeah, it's no one can predict the future. We'll see. There's many different players out there, you know, from optimistic rollups to complete side chains to L2s. That was actually a conversation we had with the Polygon people of like, what's the difference between an L2 and a side chain and an optimistic, like, you know,
yeah.
Where do you draw the line on that definition? Because it's being thrown around so much right now.
So give us the TLDRs. How do you just, you know, how do you condense that? What's the difference between an L2 and a sidechain?
So yeah, the TLDR I think that we came up with is, if another chain goes down, does your chain still work? If the answer is yes, it's a side chain. If the answer is no, it's an L2.
That's a good one.
Right?
Yeah, that's good.
If Ethereum goes down, does Polygon work? No, it's an L2. Right? If Ethereum goes down, does Solana still work? All the other chains go down except for yours. Does it still work? If yes, it's its own chain. But that's like a very rough TLDR. Right?
Yeah.
And it's still debatable, I'm sure. But, you know, because Optimism and Arbitrum, those are easy, you know, those are obvious L2s and stuff. But yeah, so
then how do you differentiate Polygon then from Optimism? Like, I know Optimism and Arbitrum are considered, you know, layer 2s of ETH, but Polygon, sometimes people call them L2s, but sometimes they're not, right? So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's and even you ask the Polygon people, and some people say, same thing, and you're like, well, no, it's not. I need to know an answer, and yeah. because
Which one do you like? Which answer do you want to hear?
Yeah, exactly right. The ZK rollups, which is like the new chain coming out on Polygon, is also going to be interesting to see if that ties in nicely, right? So for the it's fine. It's 5 o'clock. I gotta go. But
Yeah.
ZK rollups, essentially, you get to interact with stuff without knowing how it works, which is kind of cool. You guys are very interested. We can talk about zero knowledge proofs next time. But that's a whole bag of juiciness, nerdiness that it's really cool. Anyway.
Yeah, 100%. All right, Kyle.
I'll stop the recording here if I can figure out
Sounds
where
good.
that button is. Oh, there it is.